Forza Weeville 5 Ignite My Wheels is the newest expansion for the critically acclaimed video game Lordzsa Boredizon V, developed and dreamed up by British townsman and legendary Twitter poster Mike Brown and his friends at their local Hilton. In this land full of so much plastic that it's fantastic, upside-down Illuminati trickery, physics-breaking driving, and downright gorgeous 1080p 30fps gameplay, we play as the rather strange and second legendary video game protagonist Elf McSquarepants on his mission, probably, to race on orange plastic and floating rocks in an effort to become the Hot Wheels champion by only racing less than a dozen Hot Wheels cars because licensing issues are a thing. It's all this is the expansion that's helping you forget that Mike Brown and company already did this once. This expansion is different from its now deceased brother, as there's new tracks, new cars, new areas to explore, and new collectibles. With this, please allow me to tell and show you the strange world of the Hot Wheels DLC of Forza Horizon 5, and tell you why it's both quite possibly the strangest expansion this game has ever had in design, and probably the greatest expansion Forza has ever had. And you know I'm being serious when I spent my own money on my behalf to buy it and Game Pass to play it for this video. This is Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels. After spending $30 on buying the DLC, resubbing to Game Pass, and letting the 10 gigabytes worth of stuff install, I can finally show you the strange parts of this DLC. But before anything, let me just show you that Mike Brown and his team can't seem to nail AI really at all. Also, only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you like what you see here, consider subscribing. It really helps me out a lot. Forza AI never ceases to amaze me. Anyways, welcome to the intro of this expansion, to which I'm just gonna question immediately, why are we using slingshots? Oh, it's because the map is in the sky, right? Okay, gotcha. Wait, what? Yes, the expansion map is in the sky. No, not like the ocean, like, you know, actually connected to the earth. No, it's in the sky, which then makes me wonder, how are mountains and land and all that stuff in the sky? Like, this ain't Breath of the Wild 2. Turns out, the map is literally suspended with giant floating platforms, which what I'm gonna guess is made entirely out of big, thick fans or propellers. I'm gonna call it out now, this shouldn't work and you know it shouldn't. There's also what appears to be a crosshair from a Boeing 737 on the screen, which basically just shows the angle of your car at any given time. It's cool, but I don't really think that was needed, nor is it important. With this, however, I can't feel that there is something missing and something on the horizon. Oh, that's what it is. It's a
physics lesson.
No, these slingshots should not work on real cars. No, this map should not be extended into the sky because that isn't possible. At least not yet. No, wind and water cannot make a car go 200 miles per hour without dying. No, ice tracks are not good. They suck. No, driving 90 degrees like this should not work. Yes, this should work, and it does work. No, bumps like this on this particular road should not be a thing. Except if you're in New York. No, magnetic tracks just destroy your suspension like it's for some reason Jupiter. Also, we already had this feature already. It's called Gravity Settings in Event Lab. I'd like to point out that this intro is a whopping 8 minutes long. Like, I get that you want us to see the map. Like, okay, that's fine, but isn't that what exploration is for? Like, that's not for the intro. Just saying. Welcome to the map that is literally the size and looks like a Google Chrome logo, with 3 major areas, including Antarctica, Brazil, and my house. We enter the first qualifier, in which we just gotta set a speed at a speed zone in Antarctica. We then get introduced to ice tracks during this, which is a cool idea for a Hot Wheels track, but it feels like that I'm 6 years old and I spilt water all over the track. Also, ice physics in racing games just plain suck anyway, so this sucks. We get 3 stars and get access to some new races and PR stunts. With this, however, this view pops and wow. Credit where it's due, this game has a lot of detail and appeal, and bear in mind, this is only running on the original Xbox One. I mean, even if you were to park and look below the map itself, you can literally see all of the base game Mexico map rendered in below. And it goes to show that this map has some insane detail, so props to Playground for going above and beyond in the visual department. I entered the next race with the first Weebmobile, not knowing that it was an off-road race, and well, things didn't really go as planned. Alright, let's change cars. This expansion also has its very own version of the base game's Accolades feature. In this case, completing objectives and various different activities earns you medals, which can be used to increase your rank to be able to drive faster cars in the Hot Wheels park. However, this is where my biggest complaint of this expansion comes into play. For example, you cannot drive S1 class cars until you've unlocked them via story progression via earning medals. So what happens if you want to play with some friends online and you want to drive an S1 car? Simple. You're not going to. It makes it feel like you kind of have to do the story as a mandatory part of playing in its entirety to drive really anything you want online, which to me just feels a bit excessive, which to a certain degree can also be applied to the entire map itself, but at the same time this is Hot Wheels, so to some extent it kind of needs to be excessive, otherwise it would be out of season with the cool kids. To counteract this, however, unlocking higher class cars and general story progression isn't necessarily a long process as long as you're doing it relatively quickly. So it's not a massive issue, but it's still an issue nonetheless, and I would hope that this isn't a negative feature when going into online play. Anyways, we head to the next event to find a water slide track of some sorts. More on that later. Now, let's get to some back-to-back racing then, shall we?
Whee! I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am.
The game then proceeds to screw with me by failing to get 3 stars on this PR stunt, and then I had to do this one a second time because it wanted a lot more than 102 miles per hour. Anyways, we now head to the Hot Wheels history story to hear some history about Hot Wheels.
The first car off the production line was a custom Camaro, not like the one you're driving right now.
See what you did there?
I don't get it.
Handler brought in former rocket engineer Jack Ryan and General Motors car designer Harry Bradley to help, and between them they made the first 16 cars. After Harry Bradley, more designers joined the team, like Ira Guilford from Chrysler, who did the Twin Mill, and Larry Wood from Ford, who designed the original Bone Shaker.
Why is it that anyone that works for Hot Wheels just so happens to have come from a major automotive manufacturer? Is it because those manufacturers just don't want to have fun and Hot Wheels does? We then drive really far out of the way to hit a man out of the sky, because he for some reason forgot to do his Force-a-thon dailies. And he also forgot that I told him that only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It's completely free, and you can always change your mind. How am I stopped on a booster right now? Just questioning. After a bit of time, we head to the A-Class qualifier in the Diora to race on those water slides I mentioned earlier. For one, I love how I can see the supercharger of this car's engine, and two, how is it that I'm going faster by going down water? Like, I can understand the fundamentals of how that makes sense, but it's a lot faster than you'd expect. Like, why can I go 200 miles per hour and run the risk of dying? I decided to hop back into one of our Weedmobiles to complete a mission to get from point A to point B. And in the process of this, I question why this dragon looks like it came from a Lego set. Also to note, this is kinda trippy. Here's what it's like to die from a real Hot Wheel car's perspective. With this, however, let's review. Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels is downright one of the best expansions that Forza has ever had. Period. Its fast-paced, plastic-filled open world and diversity is vast and full of things to do and find. And while yes, you're limited to the 3 islands and the Hot Wheels tracks, it's honestly surprising how much there is to explore. The racing is loads of fun, and the fact that you're able to make your own races using Event Lab makes this one of Horizon's best playgrounds ever. Nice job, Playground Games. The new additions like missions, track types, cars, and much more make this feel very different from its Horizon 3 brother, you know, the one that Mike Brown took out back and shot. The real question is, are you willing to spend $20 for something that isn't really new to the Forza franchise? To those that didn't play FH3, either that or didn't have the original Hot Wheels DLC, then I would say that it's worth it and then some. But to the people that did play FH3 and did play the original Hot Wheels expansion and loved it, this one's a bit of a gamble. For me, Hot Wheels and Forza are 2 of my favorite things that I've loved since I was a kid, so of course I'm going to buy it. But for some, people might be turned off because it's not really an original idea, and they don't want to keep playing the same thing over and over. After all, even if it is a repeat of a similar idea, Playground has never necessarily messed up on anything really, so why wouldn't you buy it even if it was a repeat? In conclusion, it's good. Spend your money on it and have a blast doing so, because it is a downright fun and pleasuring experience. I hope that this game does get a second DLC, one that may even top this one, which, to be honest, it's a pretty steep mantle to beat this. With this, sadly, it's time to end. My name is Panda Power Sauce, remember to stay saucy, and I'll see you in the next one. Later!